Hello and welcome to Justin Low Stocks. So today I'm going to try to do the live trading video for you and capture a live trade that I do. So at the moment it's just pre-market, not much happening, and trying to look for the big gappers for the day. So we'll see how we go. So here we're just going to be drawing lines of support and resistance pre-market. It's always a good idea. So over here I'm marking the previous day's high, and then over on the 1 minute, so it's the same stock as you can see, ATHX, ATHX, ATHX. That's the 1 minute candle, 1 week time frame, 15-minute candles, and then daily candles. So on the 1 minute chart, I'm marking where the sort of low where it's basing, and it keeps bouncing off. As you can see, the last two bounces. And over the daily, I'm just marking the previous day's high. So if this stock drops under this 313 area, it's a possible short. There's shares available. It's on another screen that I can see there's shares available, and I'd be looking to short under 313 and look to cover around the previous day's high day, which is 292. So that'll be a 20-cent profit, which would be around 5 to 10% return. So that's a possible play here. And there's 3 minutes to market open. Market opens at 11:30 PM in Australia, so 3 minutes till market opens. As you can see, like, the stocks are moving, but they're not moving much. And this is why I'm doing this live trading video, to see, for you all to see when the market comes live and it turns on, or when the market opens, I should say, at 9:30. Watch all these charts spike in all different directions, and that's when you'll get the feel of how quick you need to be to make, the right decisions. So ATHX just dropped and I missed it. It's still pre-market part, so no panic yet. Just be patient. Make sure you do the right plays. AXON, we're going to swap these around actually. I like having my main possible play on the top screen. So this is the one that screwed me yesterday. I've got to try not to revenge trade it, but like possibly looking over this 6 area. If it can break these 610 areas, it could be a good long. If it hits them and bounces back, could be a possible short. You just got to see what the market does and react accordingly. So I've got my hot buttons here, so if I click buy, it just automatically buys a limit order of 300 shares, and the sells sell on the ask limit order again, 300 shares. So that's saves you having to put in the orders, so it saves you a lot of time, especially when you see how quick these things will move in a sec. I'm not sure how we're going to play this yet, but we shall find out soon. This ATHX is dropping, but anything I don't like is it's showing a good uptrend on the daily candles. That's the only thing I'm not liking about this short. I'll watch AXON here on the open. Spike over 6, we'll be looking to buy. So the market's opened. Things aren't jumping as much as I expected, but no doubt I'm talking too soon. This is the buyers and the sellers here. That's a whole nother story about explaining that. I'll get around to that one day. So there's a possible dip buy as well. If it dips down to this 550 area, it's a possible dip buy. This is probably looking like a good short, but I don't want to play this because AXON has more potential for returns. So I'll wait to see what AXON does. So it looks like I might come down to this dip buy level. I'll probably dip buy at around 550, like I said. As ATHX is running down, that would have been a good short to get into. It's basically approached my target already, 292. I would have already taken my profits there if I was playing that. Oh, spiking up. Volume's coming in. So I'm surprised AXON hasn't moved quicker at the moment. Oh no, here we go. Right as I say that, it's probably going to look to break out over the 6, is it? It's going to look to break over this consolidation point. Right, we've automatically cancelled. I don't know why that happened. There we go, we got filled at 6. Look for the break of 607. 300 shares only to begin with. We'll be stopping out if it goes under 265. Sorry, 565. It's going to crack down now, I think. Got my sell order in. 567, we got it. Partially filled my order. There we go, we're out. Well, that's how quick you can lose 130 bucks. We'll keep watching it here. Buy off support 550. Okay, no, it's already broke 550. I'm going to dip by this. This is way overextend on the downside. That's my reasoning. You got two big candles like that. I always say there's a bit of a pullback before it shoots down again. That's what I bought into. Should come back up to around the 555s. I'll take my profits there. Alright, I'm not liking it there. I'm going to try to sell. Oh no, too late. He just wasn't getting rid of the buyers here. I could see they weren't buying up the shares. The sellers were too strong. Bit too late, but right, it's putting a bit of a base in at this 540 sort of area at the moment. Whether or not that holds or not, we're not sure. Alright, we're going to take that. I'm happy with that. We just made back $70 of our loss, so gone from down 130 to now down only 70. Or I made $60 back. So down $74 at the moment exactly. So yeah, this is the play I always talk about. When you got in either direction, if it has massive candles down or massive candles up, there's always going to be a pullback. If it's going down, it's going to pull back up a little bit. If it's already shooting up, it's going to pull back down a little bit. So that was why I bought down here at the lows. Always try to break as the candle's making its low. Never try to wait for the little, because it's too late. The bounce happens. Look, like you saw how quick the bounce happened there. This is looking like a good short at the moment, but it's the exact same thing it did to me yesterday. It spiked up a little bit, I bought it, and it came down, it hovered at these areas, and that's when I started going short, expecting it to break down. But it was sort of around this consolidation. It hovered for around 5 minutes, 6-7 minutes, and then it shot up and broke these highs. That's what it did yesterday. That's why it stuffed me up, because this is looking like a good short opportunity now. It couldn't break the new high. It came shooting down. It's consolidating lower. Then it's expected to continue with which way it's been going since the market opened. But I'm so tempted to go short, but I just don't want to do a repeat of yesterday on the exact same stock too. So we'll just be patient and we'll wait. Oh, I want to short it. The only thing this stock's got going for it is at the moment is one, it repeated this pattern. Two, it's got two support points at 550, which is a nice like half round number, and this 540 area, and it's got long wicks at the bottom of the coloured bit of the candles, which means the stock's coming down more than it's sort of consolidating around, which shows as soon as the stock's dropping a bit, a lot of buyers are coming in and pushing it back up. So it's got a lot of support there, but it's one of those things. If the support does get broken, expect it to really collapse. So should keep an eye on the previous high of the day yesterday, or what it closed around. Closed around $5. 5.30 was the high of the day. So yeah, here we go. That's why I didn't go short. Now it's going up on the upside. Who knows? It might reject real strongly and then come down down to the 530s. We'll find out. So far it's got less volume than the previous day. See another stock running on the scanners. Tops. It's up 34% on the day. It's actually a good point to buy over right there. The high pre-market, $1.10. Probably could be a good buy. But I wouldn't expect it to hold its highs because it's got a bad long-term chart. Because if it gets over that 111 area, it's called a gap fill. When the stock fills a gap that it has left from gapping down, which it has here. It will gap down from 150 down to 110. So if it gets over 110, it's got no clear resistance until 150. Keep an eye on that. Keep an eye on this too. Don't know which way this is going. It's making up its mind. I'll open up on here actually. This is looking like a good dip buy. It's sort of uptrend, but it's come back and bouncing off this VWAP. I'm gonna buy it. I like the look of that. Wait for it to see if it comes down to 358. AXON turned around. We'll go short AXON if it goes below the lows. Actually, we might wait for a little bit of a bounce. We'll see. Sucks I missed out on OPHD. I was looking to buy around 358. It's already up 10 cents. That would have been like 40 bucks. Thinking about going short now. It's had a bit of a pullback. Expecting it to continue down AXON again, but it's just got a long wick at the bottom, which is showing a lot of support. OPHD starting to get a bit of topping action here. It bounced off there and it topped again at 370. It's looking like a strong resistance level. It's got so much support, this AXON. Coming off VWAP, we might take a scalp in OPHT if it comes back down around the 350 area. I'm going to go short AXON now. I think it's going to crack. Yep, cracked. Good timing. I'd like to see a bigger move than that. Hopefully it doesn't bounce back up, which is what it's doing. We're thinking about adding if it comes back down. Missed two dip buys on OPHT now. It's a bit frustrating. It's a good sign. It's putting in lower highs. It's got a, as you can see, a downtrend on this downward angle. If it breaks above this sort of trend line bar, it will not be looking good. So I'll probably stop out again if it gets maybe around 560. I'll probably stop out. This is what you call a descending triangle pattern. So you got a flat bottom occurring but lower highs. So you either get a breakout of the downward angled top part of the triangle. If it breaks over that, look to go long. I won't though, because I don't want to go long on this for some reason. And then same thing if it goes below this bottom line, and it's looking like a good short again. We'll probably give it to the 560 mark. 560 will stop out if it gets up there. It's just probably the slowest day we've had all week. Typical, seems as though that's the one day I've picked to record. Yeah, this has been a slow day so far. As you can see, like, look at the daily candle. This has gone from 5 to 6 today. Still a decent move, but yesterday I went from 2 to 5, which is what, 150% move. So a bit slower today, but so now if it broke out of this 555 level, I'm sure it'll just like bounce up to 560, 565 real quick. But if it breaks that level, I'll sort of be looking to cover straight away, but we'll see what happens. So far it's still following the trend on the downwards side. One thing I've got to get better at is buying off the bounces. So here, like, this is what I'm talking about by like emotions. I thought this was going to run back here. Like, it done two big candles. I thought it was going to continue because the volume was increasing as well. I thought it was going to continue running down, and this is what you call FOMO, fear of missing out. So realistically, it wasn't a good entry, even if it did break down there, I should have waited for a little bounce up, a little green candle, and then shorted into that. Instead, I let FOMO get me, and I shorted as it was breaking down. I was basically shorting at the support point. You want to first see the support break normally, but again, the rules aren't clear written rules, but because like other days you would see that you'd see it come down here with these two big candles and just continue and go right down to $5 or under $5. So it's hard. You got to sort of just, it's hard to gauge what stocks will just continue and fall through and what stocks won't, and they'll actually bounce off. And so it would have been better if I waited for the bounce and then just shorted into the bounce. That would have been in at 5.53. I'd be out 10 cents now, 15 cents. So I gotta get better at refining my entries. Alright, we'll buy that there. Alright, we're back down $140. Well, you always get the days in two, don't you? We have two bad days in a row, always. Nowhere near as bad as yesterday, but so see if this breaks this 555. Expect it to come back up to the 570 area, possibly even higher. Alright, we'll short into this spike, 570. What we don't want to see is it find support at 567 here. I want to see a crash below that level. So look at buyers and sellers. So it's dropping. Lower buyers at 566, 567. Push it straight back up. This looks like I might get stopped out again. Showing pretty decent support here. Yeah, so see how quick it can move. 586 down to 561 within a minute. It was less than a minute. It was like 20 seconds that did. Oh, not even 5 seconds that did that. I'd like to add here, but it's one of those things, if I add and then it sort of breaks these levels, I won't be able to re-add because I'll be maxed out my buying power. So I don't want to add now and then I'll be down more money. So I don't want to do that. But yeah, it's one of those things. We just added to our position at 573. Might see it come back down to 560 and I'll take half of the position. It's breaking down nice so far. Need to stop talking because every time I say it, it turns back around. On a normal occasion I probably would have already been in bed by now. Oh no, not might have, I would have been in bed by now. Oh, it's good to see it breaking down. Again, I say that, it'll no doubt jump back up to 570, but like this is for example where if I went to bed I'd set like a stop over 580 because it'd be sort of breaking out of the consolidation zone, and I'd set a profit taker down here near the high 530s, maybe even 540 just to be safe. That's what I'd do if I was going to bed. I can almost guarantee when I cover half my position it'll then drop and crack below support and really run down towards these levels. If I do cover half here, that's what it'll do. It'll drop as soon as I cover half. Always happens. The emotions of it is what you got to control. That's the hard part. Reading the charts is easy. You know if it breaks this, you should be selling. If it breaks this, I should be holding. It's just whether or not you actually follow your plan, because it's harder to follow your plan when I know if that comes down here, I'll make a fair bit of money. But that's the hard part. You gotta actually do it. If this breaks, I'll probably definitely take half at 550, at or around 550. If it breaks down to there, actually I might take half. If it comes back to 560, we'll take half. Play it safe. Boom, we'll take half. I'll take half there. Now, like I said, I took half. Now it'll drop. You watch. Always happens. Now the rest I would like to, if I see it get down there, maybe get it out around 540. Would be nice. 550 is a big resistance to break, but support, sorry. Yeah, it's a half dollar if it breaks this, but we should get 540, which it looks like. So you keep an eye on the buyers and sellers. If you've got more sellers than buyers, theoretically the price should be dropping. It's hard because it's always constantly changing, but you get to be able to understand it a little bit more the more time you just put into it, basically. So this could be a little spike up, just 10 cents off its lows. Then it should reverse, hopefully. Not hopefully, it should reverse if it doesn't act accordingly. Alright, it's putting in a bit of a rally here. Should we add here or not? Sometimes even I just for the fun of it, I'd be like, this is a point I was really thinking about adding. Just draw an arrow, and then you come back the next day and you see, would that have been a good add or not? I think it would have been. It looks like it's the pullback. It had a few lows here. It looks like that was a little pullback, and then it will continue lower. That could have been a good add. Yeah, it would have been an alright add. There's 10 cents already from where I thought I should add. Looks like it's spike. That's another point I'd think it's shorting. So you could draw another arrow again. If I shorted there, will this work out well or not? You see, it'll either come back down, it would have worked well, or it might spike up to retest these highs. That wouldn't be good. So these are the real hard times. It's hit a low and it's starting to go up. Well, it's only had two or three candles, so it's hard to establish a trend at this moment because it's still following this downtrend. It's just on the borderline of breaking out, but okay, so like it's in these zones where it's real hard to determine what to do. Is it breaking out that way, up there, like changing the trend, or is it continuing on with this downtrend? This is where if you come and look back tomorrow, it'll look obvious. Oh yeah, obviously you should have done that, but at the time you don't. It's hard to tell, is that going to break out or not? Well, technically, if I look at that tomorrow, I would think it's going to continue down. You always follow with the trend, but yeah, it's, if this breaks out, it'd be like people would be saying, oh, obviously buy, you should have bought it at 570, but again, you don't know if sometimes stocks will move over the support or resistance level by a few cents and then turn around. Like yesterday with AXON, when I bought it over the breakout and only broke out by 3 or 4 cents. Had it been a different day and it ran for a full dollar per share, then it would have worked out well and pattern would have worked. But sometimes it doesn't work. That's what I mean by there's no written book with right and wrong answers. You just gotta put in the time, put in the practice. You don't get good at any sport by sitting there reading about it and watching it. Sometimes you gotta play it, and you gotta actually do it to be able to get better. So I'd like to see this come down to 550 again. If it comes down to 550, I'll take it. So again, both points would have been good to short into that I was looking at, because that 559 point came down to 549. That would have been 10 cents, and then this 565 has come down to 555, another 10 cents. So they would have both worked out. I never normally trade this long either. I normally trade like 20 minutes max. Alright. Well, we missed that buy. Wouldn't let me buy. I short into this if I can. No, it's not gonna let me. There we go, I'll just fill it there. I'm not real confident with which direction that's going to go. Made a little bit of a comeback. We're down under 100 now. Still not good results, but it's been a relatively quiet day. Actually, this is See again, like I said, I just got out there, but it's looking like a good short again because it's coming up to these points now. I gotta get out. I got out for 570, so if I can get in at 580, that could be a good short. It's not much volume. There's not much volume. Nowhere near as much volume as there was, back here. So the volume's starting to die off. That's the problem with adding on bounces as well. Thinking about that. So it's like these two here that I picked. They would have been good to add on the bounce. But something like this, for example, during real time when it was bouncing up, would you have shorted here? You might have. You might have thought, oh yeah, that'll be a good short. It's had a bounce. I'll short it 564. Well, then went up 16 cents per share. Would you have stopped out, or would you have held that and then now be only down a little bit? Would you how long would you hold it for? Would you wait for it to come down here? Where's your stop point? They're things you need to think about. Same with this. Even this, if you shorted here but you weren't going to stop out until we got to 540, well, you'd now be down as well. So it's hard knowing when to take profits, when to enter a position, all of it. It's very difficult, and you gotta. It's like I said, it's just time. You need to just trade and try to figure it out, because it's difficult. No one can tell you how to do it. You gotta figure it out yourself. Should short this one around 582 and just set like a 6 cent stop just above this high here. That might not be bad. Jumping around a bit, but oh, here we go. Yeah, might try short. We'll short here. We'll see if we get squeezed or not. Might get squeezed up to $6. Not 100% sure. You guys about to break out yet? Broke out. Oh, it comes straight back down. Straight back up. You guys, that's what we call, again, like as I was saying, with unspoken rules. That is technically a breakout. Now breakouts can do two things. Breakouts can break out and come right up here, or they can be a fake breakout where they just go up by a few cents and then turn back around. And then same thing. Is this gonna? So this is starting to show what it was showing back here, and now it's starting to show it just in the opposite direction. Two big red candles, but technically it's still following this uptrend. So is it about to create a new trend going down, or is it going to continue this uptrend? This is the biggest resistance of them all, $6. $6 is where the highest it's been in ages. If it gets over 6, then there's no telling how high it can go. Just got out. Bloody loss. $173. No good today. Took way too long as well. Took an hour and 10 minutes. Yeah, wasn't a good day. So is what it is. Okay, so the last bit you would have seen is me looking all upset, down $170. That's not how the day ended, but I'll go through the last few trades quickly because I turned the recording off live. So after I stopped out with that last loss, which is back around here, I sat down for 5 minutes and I relaxed, and then I realised it's a long setup because it's broken out of its highs of the previous day and all of pre-market, so it was now a long setup. So I missed the initial entry because it was just spiking, and then once it pulled back I bought into this red candle here at 614, and I got a good entry on that, and it went up to 640, and that's where I sold. So I think I made back $120 something there, so I was only down 50 at this point. And then basically, I'm not going to go into it in specific detail, but I just scalped all in this area for all this section. I was So I sold here. I think I bought when it dipped back down here, sold 10 cents higher, bought back here, sold up here, and then after it cracked here, I shorted it. I shorted it with a stop above 650 and a profit taker at 615. And I went to bed at that point, and then over here it came back down below 615, and that's where I ended up taking my profits, because that last one was a short. So yeah, I actually ended up the day not red, I ended up green, a massive $6. I mean, it's not that good, but better than being in the red. So yeah, just thought I'd show you the end bit of the trade. Sorry I was real quiet in the video. I was trading at, like I said, 11:30 at night, so I was talking quiet not to wake everyone up. And yeah, like I said, I never normally trade that long. Normally I'm done in 20 minutes. It was a very slow day that you got to capture, unfortunately. Normally there's a lot bigger spikes and I'll be done within sometimes 10 minutes even, but yeah, you just got a very quiet day to see. But yeah, I cut the video down to about half an hour, so I traded for about an hour and a half, so I tried to cut out as much as possible, but there's some bits I just couldn't. I wasn't sure I should cut out. So yeah, hope you enjoyed the video and got a little bit of an idea what it's like doing it live. And yeah, have a great night, and I'll be back at it again tomorrow. See you later.